John McCain gets a standing ovation at the Republican convention. Both the McCain and Obama campaigns have embraced new technology to try and get their message across. Senator McCain's daughter Meghan is constantly updating her blog, and Senator Obama's wife Michelle contributes to a women-focused website. Well, World News Today has brought together its own blogging team, giving their take on the race for the White House. And in a moment, I'll be catching up with them. First, though, let's take a look at their online offerings this week. Our bloggers there, you saw them in our report, and here they are. In our New York studio is Robert Hewitt from thechiefsource.com, a pro-Democrat blogger. In Washington is Adam J. Schmidt from adamjschmidt.com, a pro-Republican blogger. Welcome to you both again. Adam, I'm going to start with you. The Republican convention didn't exactly get off to a cracking start now, did it, Adam? But what's your verdict at the end of the week?
Well, it started off slow, but it ended on a very high note. First off, I was just blown away by the ratings numbers that we're seeing coming through now. You had Sarah Palin's speech the other night, 2 days ago, beat out easily Joe Biden's speech and come within 1.1 million viewers of Barack Obama's hype speech. We're still waiting to see how McCain did in viewership, but it's looking like he could be on par to beat that, which is really a surprise. Going into the conventions, that was not expected.
So, Robert, Republicans seem to have regained the advantage, the momentum, closing the gap?
Well, I would say, first of all, I don't think it's that surprising that the ratings were through the roof for Sarah Palin's speech. I mean, up until a week ago, she was virtually unknown. So, I mean, I think that's a big reason that people tuned in is because they had never heard of her before. But I'm sorry, what was your other question?
They're closing the gap, and they've stolen your slogan, haven't they? McCain really seemed to enjoy saying change is coming with a big smile on his face.
You know, as I'm sure you guys have been reporting, the New York Times has broken down the words that were most commonly uttered through both conventions. And for the GOP, it was first God, second taxes, and third change. So you're absolutely right. They're clearly trying to steal the change mantle. You know, the bottom line is that McCain has been in the Senate since E.T. was opening in theaters. And he has voted with Bush 90% of the time. So I just don't think the American people are going to buy it.
Well, we shall wait and see. Adam, his speech, well, it wasn't exactly the kind of speech that set the convention on fire. It looked as if the delegates were looking to clap and didn't get that many chances.
Well, it was a different kind of speech, you're right. John McCain really, I think, by picking Sarah Palin, freed himself up to go after independent voters, to kind of revert more to who he really is, to be himself, be the reformer, be the maverick. And being a maverick isn't necessarily going to fire up the base in the room. You know, you saw it built up. By the end of the speech, there was a lot of applause, a lot of cheering. He was finishing up, you know, over the din of the crowd.
But isn't that really just a polite way of saying he's a very wooden performer? He just doesn't, he can't do it.
Well, I will be the first to admit that a large public speech of that kind is not John McCain's best setting. That is what Barack Obama does well. Really, they have different strengths in that way. McCain performs better more in a town hall, one-on-one, off the cuff. And so I think he met the expectations. He got through the speech. He did well, hit the high points. We'll see what the polling shows out in a couple weeks.
Robert, McCain clearly isn't much of a barnstormer on the stage, but Sarah Palin is, it would appear to be. And isn't that a problem for the Obama camp, especially since she seems to make him look even more aloof and professorial than before?
Well, you know, I mean, she was a sportscaster. And so that's clearly coming in handy And you know, I really think that Palin did give a good speech on Thursday. I think that was the highlight of their convention. I think
how
it was
much of
probably
a problem
the
do you think it's going to be now for Barack Obama? That she seems so kind of gutsy and sort of normal, and he seems like he's preaching from a great height to the American people.
Well, I think the good news is that we still have about 60 days left. And I think right now people are so excited about Palin, and they just don't really know anything about her. She's kind of this empty vessel that has been filled with all the expectations and the excitement of the party. But the truth is that her opinions on, for instance, wanting to teach creationism in public schools, her stance that she doesn't believe in a woman's right to choose even if she's been raped by her father. I mean, she has such right-wing views, and right now everybody's excited by the big speeches, but once they settle down, the moderates and independents, and once they look at her views a little bit more closely, they're going to realize that this ticket has moved dramatically to the right.
We are out of time. Adam and Robert, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure we'll be joining you again over the next 60 days to go before voting. Now, we're going to move on to Cuba, and when Fidel Castro